I've got this Homocord portable out again. I did a video on this probably 3 or 4 years ago. I had to do things like I still hadn't rebuilt the reproducer at that time, even though the gaskets, surprisingly, were still slightly pliable. No air leaks, but still. Should do them. They're done now. And I had not yet figured out the brake. It didn't seem to have one. Then I realized later on that they were using the speed control as the brake, you see. I have it set now, so there is brake, and the last notch is 78. So that works out. It's not the smallest of compact portables. Obviously, the Peter Pan's a lot smaller than this. It's about twice the size of the Peter Pan. But it's much smaller than the 101 or the 102. That's a 102 up there. And obviously, Homocord is made in Germany. There's not a whole lot I've been able to find out about these machines. You know, online or whatever. There's absolutely nothing in any of my books, of course. But obviously, they were a German company. I know they had a UK subsidiary that had something to do with Columbia in the 20s. I'm not sure if they bought out Columbia, then were absorbed into EMI later on. I don't know. But I imagine it was the German branch that was building machines. Obviously, they're known for their Homocord record label. Those are pretty common on eBay all the time. I see those. Very rarely do I see machines, only a few times. I have a Homocord Electro, which is a portable the size of a 102, and basically laid out like your typical 101, HMV 101 would be. Nothing really different there. One thing about now this Homocord is pre-Electro, so I'm guessing it's mid-1920s, somewhere early to mid-1920s in there somewhere, because the later ones are slightly larger, have a different tone arm design, still have the small turntable, and they're still a compact machine, but they will say Homocord Electro on them, where it says just Homocord there, or say Electro underneath it. Now, one thing about this machine, and I've noticed for Homocord in general, is they just make such nice look at this reproducer. For a machine this size, this reproducer has a diaphragm on it the size of you would find on a Victor Victrola 4 reproducer or an HMV 4 reproducer. Big. A reproducer made to play electric records, not, early acoustics. But look how they made this. A nice brass ring. This body is not pot metal. This body is actual aluminum, machined aluminum. No pot metal there. So there's never going to be a problem with splitting and cracking and bubbling. And look how nicely they letter it underneath the diaphragm there. Made in Germany, Homocord, with the company's Art Deco design on there, logo design. Now, this type of reproducer is reminiscent of ones that I've seen on things like the Outing Talking Machine. I'm not sure who provided them. This one was obviously made by Homocord because it is just a little different. I did compare it with some that I have from U.S. manufacturers. And while the basic design is the same, of the needle bar, the 4 screws holding a locking ring down, that kind of thing, they're not the same. This is a little bit bigger. It's a little bit different design. It does not use pot metal, or any other substandard materials like that. It's really nicely done. For a compact machine, just look at this. Look how they made this. It's amazing. And the one on the Homocord Electro is just as nice. It's actually even nicer because it's a full brass body, and underneath the diaphragm, it's all brass under it. It's real nice. Well, you can see that in one of my past videos, but really nice job. Kind of a primitive tone arm. It just kind of snaps in there and snaps back out, and you stow it. But it is brass. I'm not sure if that's chrome plating. It probably is chrome plating. If not, then it's really nice nickel plating. Everything on the machine is nickel plated. You got a little needle box there with some spare parts I put in there. Little tiny turntable. This is your speaker opening. It's a tiny speaker. The speaker really runs only from here to there. That's your entire horn. Not your speaker. I'm sorry. Your horn. Your horn. That's your horn there. And it's not very big. It's actually kind of tiny. I don't know if they enlarged that for the Homocord Electro compact machine or not. I don't know. I don't have one of those machines yet. And luckily, if anybody is facing rebuilding one of these reproducers, this will use a Victrola number 4 diaphragm And, although I didn't need to replace the diaphragm on this one, it was perfectly good. These gaskets are exhibition, Victor or HMV exhibition reproducer tube gaskets. That's what those are, exactly the same. So just don't buy a kit for an exhibition to rebuild one of these. Buy just, there's a couple of sellers on there that just sell the tube. And that goes for any of this style reproducer. They all use similar type setups. Obviously the gasket is a little bit bigger than the exhibition, so you need longer pieces of tube to do it. And we'll play a record on it since I have it out. And I have the speed properly set and all of that stuff. Snap on the reproducer. Whoops. But like I said about these machines, very little information available, it seems. Apparently even in Germany, because I checked the internet, including some European websites and phonograph websites. And while I did find a couple of electros, both of the larger 102 sized one and the larger compact one, different tone arm design that say electro on them, I didn't find any of these, and really no manufacturing information. So I'm going to assume that at some point either the company was absorbed by somebody else, you know, maybe Electrola or something like that, or they did not survive the war like Electrola didn't. Maybe the Soviets disassembled the Homocord factory and hauled it back to Russia like they did with the other ones that they captured, other factories in general. I don't know. I have no idea what might have happened. Maybe they just gave up making machines and went over to records. I really don't know. Which is a shame because it's a nice little machine. It really is. It's nicely made. It's compact. Like I said, with that reproducer is absolutely amazing. Generally with, you know, compact machines like this is where the company goes cheap. They put their cheapest reproducer, the throwaway stuff, because they're selling them cheap. But I don't think this one was sold cheap. Just doesn't seem to be. Let's see what we got for, I got a Columbia record here that I actually haven't played. Now these are kind of limited in the type of record you can get away with playing on them. This is not a machine. It will play an electric record, yeah, no problem. However, with that tiny horn, the sound gets lost. The sound really does get lost. You really have to stick to acoustics on this if you want decent sound at all. Oh, we got Oh Dem Golden Slippers and Keep in the Middle of the Road. By Harry C. Brown and the Knickerbocker Quartet. Now that's going to be late teens, early 20s, so that's roughly contemporary with the machine. We'll see how well it does. Come on, where's the spindle? Can't find it. There we go. I already have it wound up, so I don't have to worry about that. What I do have to do is... Whoop. Okay, this is difficult here because it's all the way in the back. But we'll try.
the middle of the road. Turn your back on the swirler seat. Knock at the door, then set your in, 'cause you're never gonna get such a chance again. Keep in the middle of the road, then. Children, keep in the middle of the road. Children, keep in the middle of the road. Don't you look to the right, don't you look to the left, but keep in the middle of the road. Children, keep in the middle of the road. And children, keep in the middle of the road. Don't you look to the right, don't you look to the left, but keep in the middle of the road. This world am full of sinful things. Keep in the middle of the road. When the feet get tired, why put on the wings? Keep in the middle of the road. If you lay down on the road to die, you watch them angels in the sky. You can put on the wings and get out and fly. Keep in the middle of the road. And children, keep in the middle of the road. Children, keep in the middle of the road. Don't you look to the right, don't you look to the left, but keep in the middle of the road. And children, keep in the middle of the road. And children, keep in the middle of the road. Don't you look to the right, don't you look to the left, but keep in the middle of the road.
These are neat little machines. Compacts always are. You know, they usually where you look when you want to see some thinking outside the box. And, you got record storage bolted to the lid. That's not new. Other machines had that. But it's nice that you don't usually see that, though, in one of the compact ones. Yeah, this is actually a little bit smaller than, which one am I thinking of? Oh, I lost the name. Senior moment, lost the name, what can I tell you? But, just a nice job they did. A little leather handle on there. One of the very few machines that I say you probably could carry it with the leather handle, because these things have almost no weight. They're very light. Very, very light. Small motor in there, made in Germany, stamp right on it. You know, it's a lightweight case. It's covered with black fabric. Little door with nice little hinge, little piano hinge on there. Closes perfectly. Don't have a key for it, so obviously that doesn't get locked. That would be a big mistake. Unlike HMV, you don't just unscrew that if you happen to accidentally lock it. So you don't want to do that. You'd be having a locksmith pick it for you or having to damage the machine. And it's, the black and the chrome look is really nice. But there you go. That is the Homocord Model Unknown. Don't know what the model is. If it had one, maybe it was just called the Homocord. That was it. Maybe it was the only machine. That's not true, because I have found, in their record, I have found at least one tabletop online. Similar to something like this 8 that's hidden underneath that cover there. That had Homocord on it. You know, a typical wooden with a lid type deal. Don't know what era, but late teens, early 20s would be my guess. I found one of those. I'm sure more exist in Germany or maybe in Europe, I'm not sure. But there you go. There's another look at the Homocord, this time with the reproducer, with new gaskets, and I figured out the auto brake on it. Look how they put Homocord right on the needle box too. Really did a nice job on that. And I will show you how this gets stowed. First, let's get rid of the needle. Doing this one-handed is not easy. Come on. Come on. No, I guess you don't want to come out. Okay. This just slides right off. And it stows. Where's the stud? Right here. Just like that. Nice and neat and secure, and this rotates until it reaches a little notch in the back there. I don't know if you can really see it. And it comes right out like that. Right. That's your tone on. And into that hole you saw there. That's what it's for. Snaps there. And then this little tiny crank, a little baby crank. Look at this. Let's see, how does this go? Just like this. And then there you go. You're all set. head off to the picnic or the steamship or whatever, wherever you might be going. Don't think this machine really saw a lot of use because it's just in too good a condition. You know, the wood's not all messed up, all the coverings are still in good shape, nothing's all rattly loose. All of the plating here is still good. You know, something sometimes you don't see too often if they've been sitting around in a damp location for a while, especially the plating can lift right off of there. Well, that's the Homocord. Well, that's going to be going home, so... And if you know anything about these machines, send me a message. You know, I'm interested in the history of them, approximately when they were made, what models were made, and what model this one is, you know. I just don't have much information on the Homocord machines. This or the Homocord Electro. This is two. I have two of them, this one and the Homocord Electro. Portable in red. Which is also, like I said, that's in another video, as is this one. This one I did with the Pixie Gripper, and the Pixie Gripper is coming out of storage pretty soon, because I do have to do the spring on that one. And, you know, I'm trying to get to that kind of stuff. I don't want to let them sit too long before I get around to them. Maybe we can play that one. And there you go.